One of the most popular questions I get asked on Instagram is, how do I homeschool 3 kids in 3 different grade levels with different pieces of curriculum and piecing it all together and keeping sane? One of the tools that I use that has helped me for the last few years is my homeschool planner. And there's a lot of different ways to use homeschool planners, different ways of planning, and I'm hoping to do an entire series on that. But for today, I'm going to share what just came in the mail, my brand new homeschool planner for the 2023-2024 school year. So this year, it may be no surprise to you, but I am going to be using a homeschool planner from Vance Paper Co. I've been a customer of theirs for maybe 5 years now, and every year I have not been disappointed. I've tried, I think, every one of her planners, the minimal, the simple, and the very customized Charlotte Mason inspired homeschool planner. Each of those have served its purpose for different years, but I just love the open-endedness of every one of her planners. You have a lot of freedom, which is fun for me. I know that some people want more samples and don't know what to do with that open-endedness, which is totally fine, but for me, I really love to be able to use the space and customize it for what works best for us in that year. And Vance and her family run that business in their home. I know her personally, and their family is so special. They all contribute to the work that's done into these planners, and I know that they personally pray for over each planner as they make it. And if you ever have owned one or you're considering it, just know that you can tell that there is so much love poured into it, and you can see the customizations or the personalizations that you've added to your planner. It's just like every spread has its own special touch, and I just love supporting this small business. By the way, there is some construction going on outside, so you might hear that background noise. I did want to mention that I have a $5 coupon if you're interested in getting anything from Vance shop. They have other things besides homeschool planners. We use their narration journals. They call them Ruth journals, and the cool thing about it is you can pick like the line option, whether you have a kindergartner and you need more, the bigger line space, or you have a teen and they use college ruled. They have options for that. They have options to add space for an illustration, side binding or top bound, which is great for left-handed writers, or I just like it. Our kids like not having their hand run up into the binding when they're writing, and I've shown those a lot on Instagram. They are such really high quality paper, great keepsakes of their narrations. If you like to keep some of their special work throughout the year, the notebooks are a really great way to save those. So for this planning series, I'm going to do a Q&A. I'm going to do a plan with me video and some others. If you have any requests for what you want to see with the planner or questions of how I plan, please leave a comment below, and I'm just trying to think of what would be helpful to you for showing how to plan efficiently, and something that is not a time eater, but just something that really helps you to stay on task and to stay accountable and motivated. Today I'm just going to do a flip through of the planner that I purchased, and I'm going to include all the details of the order, because when you order from Vance, you'll see there's a lot of choices to make, and sometimes you can get decision fatigue. So I'm going to list out in the description my exact order. I have a blog post already written that contains that, in case there are specs within here that you want to have as well. That will be all laid out for you, including this cover, which was designed by this homeschool house here on YouTube. Okay, so we are going to do a flip through. Let me turn the camera around and show you inside. So for my cover option this year, I went with this watercolor hydrangeas from this homeschool house, and she has an Etsy shop where you can purchase like planner covers and so many beautiful choices. I had a hard time. There are probably 3 that I really liked, but I went with this one. It was a little more simplistic and just homeschool planner. There are also a lot of cover options you can choose from on Anna's site, and I have went with those for all the other years, but this year I decided to splurge on and support this homeschool house. So when you first open it up, you'll see the little cover page. This is like on a vellum paper, and it has this Charlotte Mason quote, which I love, and it comes with a click-in bookmarker. You can buy these separately on her site, but your planner also comes with one, which is nice. And also, you will get one of these. These are so cool, magnetic bookmarkers that we have quite a collection of these now. And you can also get these separate on her site, but your planner will come with at least one. I think it's one. And they're just so handy. We use them all the time for our read alouds and things like that. I wish you could feel, the paper quality is unmatched. Here's the annual overview. This planner I chose the simple homeschool planner, and I took out a lot of the options, like if you could opt in or opt out of certain pages. I opted out a lot for this year, and I wanted just to kind of have a simple, it's one step above the minimal planner, so it does have some extras, like I wanted the record pages in the back, which I'll show you in a minute. But it's pretty slimmed down than what I have used in the past. These are just passages, reminders to keep us encouraged, focused and diligent, hopes, dreams, goals, and achievements. And here it goes straight to the lesson plan. So this is really the meat of it, and this is what I use the most. And so I opted to mainly just focus on the lesson plans. And normally, every other year I've gone with layout 2B, which is very similar to this, but this first column is without the grid paper, so it's just blank here, which I still love, but I did want to try this layout. This is 3B, and so each box has grid paper, which I thought would be a nice little change for us. So how I usually lay it out, and I'll show you this I'll actually fill it out for you in another video, but I'll put the week of right here, and across the top, I like to do days of the week up top, and then our subjects going down this first column. So writing the subjects here, and then Monday it'll be like the family subjects, math on Monday, what are we doing? What is each kid doing? And so on. And so that leaves us, let's see, these are subjects Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then this column here, these 2 columns I would use for miscellaneous things. So like independent reading. All last year I used these 2 columns for independent reading because they each had a lot of extra reading that they did outside of their normal curriculum. I might still do that for this year, and I might use part of this section for notes for my high schooler, just because she's got a lot more going on this coming school year that I would need to keep track of, or that little reminders to help me remind her. So this whole section, the bulk of it is just that. Let me get to that. So all of this are going to be filled with all our lessons for the year. And then we move on to the record page section, which is quite a lot, but I opted out of a lot of the records and instead asked for more note-taking pages in the back. But here is what I got, what I opted into. This can be used as a attendance tracker or any kind of a tracker because of the way it's laid out with the calendar. I asked for undated as well. And let's see, this one is subject by subject. So basically, like you can write down the subject, the objectives, resources, and notes. So like a course outline for the year. For your child, this is a reading list. I really like these sheets. This column says read it, living book, a seasonal read, ebook, audiobook at the library, or free online. So we have multiple pages of that. Knowing my kids, I wanted to make sure we had enough reading list. This one is the considerations page, and this is where you can list out curriculum. You know how you see curriculum throughout the year and you want to note it down somewhere or write it on a post-it, but this is a place to keep all of that. Considerations, meaning considerations for curriculum next year. So it has a column, what is it? Where is it from, the cost, and any notes, and if you purchased it, these bubbles. So this is just helpful because if you're like me, you have notes everywhere, and to have this in one place has been very nice to come back to. There's a lot of times I'll jot something down, totally forget about it, and come back to it later and be reminded of like, oh, I did want to check that out for science next year, whatever. It's a really nice to have it all in one spot. Okay, this is the actual future curriculum page. So while this one is where you write like what you're considering to do, it can be just more of a brainstorm. This is where you can list out what you're actually going to be using, what you're going to be purchasing, the resource, where to purchase it, the cost, and any notes. So it's almost like a rough draft and a final draft. Okay, the next page is for Handicrafts. I asked for this page in because, Handicrafts and Nature Study, because those are two things that are not my strength and are not things that I prioritize. So I wanted to make sure to add these pages in. I feel like any accountability in these two areas are great for me. So list out handicraft, the skills, the time commitment, supplies you would need. This would be great for me, helpful. And any helpful resources, like I would put YouTube links or books or any other, even live classes that might be helpful for that handicraft. Nature Study is just by month, so you can write down your area of focus, or you can log if you do the 1,000 hours outside challenge, you can log observations or even your hours here on this page. This is a credit hours log. I added this in because of my high schooler, and we need to log in her PE hours, which she'll be using dance for PE. So I will log it in here, her hours and her credits. And this I'll probably use as months, just to total up all her hours. The next page, crafts and activities to consider. It has a cost. Okay, so this is craft activity, where to find it, notes, and if it has a cost. This would be good for our unit studies, anything that you want to add projects to. Here's another one. I do want to make a point on focusing on field trips this year. Field trips and board games have been kind of my desire to add in more. I'm not naturally the fun mom, and I think adding those types of things it doesn't come to mind easily, and so I had it added. I want to make it a point to whatever we're studying to think of, what are some crafts and activities we can add in, or local places that we can visit that would bring the learning more to life. So again, name and location, cost, when to visit, and some notes. And then the rest of this is just all notes. note pages, which I use all the time, but you can choose your line options for this. You can have them blank, you can have actual lines, or this grid paper, which I really like. And the paper is really thick and high quality, which I think any pen will work on this. But this is good for me because I keep it all together, collected in our planner. And then the very back has a pocket, and she includes these stickers. Let me show you. So these are the stickers included with your planner. These are the tabs for the month, January all the way to December, and then your annual, your yearbook, pupils. I did not add in some of these, so I won't use some of them. The weekly plans I will use, so lesson masters, the records, and the notes section. So those will all go right here on the outside. I used these, my daughter had a pupil planner from Vance, and they also came with these months tabs. And I mean, I just want to warn you, because I was not thinking straight when I put on her very first tab, but you'll want to see this, like, you'll see the outside of it, and that's the part that you stick onto the paper. The rest of it, make sure it's sticking out. I had put the whole tab like munched onto the paper, which I had to carefully unpeel it. But these are great, just to know, quickly where to turn to and find that section. And then these stickers are so sweet. Has another Charlotte Mason quote, "Children are born persons." And another one, this one says, "And one of the great things we have to learn in life is how, where, and when to use this power, which we call self-control." These stickers here I just use as decoration. You'll see when I make plans, I usually put the week of here, and I'll usually use washi tape here or here, just for my own pleasure. And these stickers are great for that, or you can use your own washi tape. These I have used for different things in my planner, mostly in the notes section, just to highlight projects or topics that the notes go under. And then the colors are just so pretty too. So that's what's in the back pocket. And here's that. And I'm going to list the exact order for this planner in the description if you want to check it out. So that is my simple homeschool planner from Vance Paper Co. So if you have any questions from this flip through, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to get to that. So I hope seeing the inside of the planner was helpful to you in some way. I'm excited to get started and open this up and start planning. I'm already done with my other planner. And don't forget to use the $5 code. It's a link, and the link will take you directly to the $5 coupon below if you want to get anything from Vance's shop. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. I've got other videos up already of all our curriculum for the next school year. 3rd grade, 6th grade, 9th grade, and our family studies are all up for you, and links to everything as well. And I hope that I can see you also on Instagram at Juicebox Homeschool. I hope you have a great day.